It's Quinn and Cantera on PYX106.
1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Chaz Farcher.
From Martin Harding and Mazzotti. Good morning, Chaz.
Good morning, gentlemen.
So it's kind of because we're talking law. They just put a new seating section at Yankee Stadium. It's pretty awesome. They've named it the Judges' Chambers.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Because they're Aaron Judge.
Oh, gotcha.
Pretty
okay.
awesome right
That's
there,
great.
right?
Okay.
I was not aware. That gives me good cause to tell all of the bosses that I have to go to the judges' chambers every other day.
Right?
That's
right?
great. I love it. Looking at Anthony Weiner crying his eyes out.
Why did he cry? Why did
Because
Weiner
his
cry?
whole life is going to be completely ruined. He even wore his wedding ring in there knowing full well that his wife was going to file for divorce an hour later, Chaz. Poor bastard.
Yeah, that's right. So Anthony Weiner back to sexting once again.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
But the difference is the first one
underage one.
was an adult. The second one was 15, right?
Yeah, so now you actually have, a pretty good criminal case here. He's been convicted of a crime. He's pled guilty to, sending obscene material to a minor. So now he's facing some lengthy prison time. There's a possibility of that now. We'll find out in September when he goes to sentencing.
Ballpark time-wise, what did people get for that kind of thing?
Well, technically, he's under the federal sentencing guidelines. He's facing for either probation to as much as up to 10 years, but he signed a plea agreement, and the prosecutors have recommended about 2 years of prison time. So there's a recommendation from the prosecutor of 2 years, about 24 months. He's agreed to that plea agreement. The final say comes from the judge whether or not they accept that, give him more, give him less.
Just in time before the 2020 elections. We'll get him a good running mate who'll win that presidency.
What? I haven't looked closely at Weiner's
It
story.
wouldn't be the worst we have. That's the worst.
What do we know? What he sent? Is that out there? And I just didn't
Specifically,
read it?
I think it was nude photo
of
nude,
himself
of his junk. Is the way I was reading it. Yeah,
I believe Anthony Weiner sent pictures of his wiener, so Weiner was brought down by his wiener.
He says, through approximately March 2016, I engaged in obscene communications with this teenager, including sharing explicit images and encouraging her to engage in sexually explicit conduct. And then he started sobbing after they had to tell the judge that, which, I imagine was pretty tough to do for Weiner.
Yeah.
I would have cried too if I were in that situation. Son of a bitch.
All right,
He's screwed.
Part of any plea agreement usually is confessing essentially to the crime that you're pleading guilty to. It's part of the court making sure you understand what you're pleading guilty to, not just saying, I plead guilty. So you got to kind of recite some of the facts, but that's certainly got to be uncomfortable.
And he's got to register
As a sex offender.
Yeah.
Does that prohibit him from running for office, by the way? Does anybody know?
There's all kinds of sex offenders in politics.
Oh, well, you say that, and I believe you.
Yeah, no, it's
But I'd
true.
like to think that maybe there's a chance he won't be able to
First
even
of
be
all,
in his sweet love
what
politics.
makes you think he would run again? And
Because
who
he's
would- and who
crazy
would
like
vote for
that.
him?
He's crazy like that.
Chaz, would you vote for Anthony Weiner for anything?
No. no, but that's
He
probably before the sexting scandal either,
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah. Oh, man. The
And he's also
drawing,
got
the
a
court
divorce
reporter
case coming up,
drawing
too,
is...
now. So.
What's that?
He's got a divorce case, too, so, as you mentioned, his wife also immediately filed for divorce, so if and when he ever gets out, he'll be... he's got more court problems coming up ahead of him, too, as well now.
I feel like we're piling on.
Well,
feel like we're
I mean,
piling on.
he burned himself a couple times.
He sure did.
And it was some bad timing. And the whole stupid thing with the FBI and the thing with the stuff on his computer, and then Comey having to release that before the elections and all that nonsense. He's got a lot more to pay for.
We'll find out. It'll be interesting to see how much time he actually does. Like I said, if the judge takes the recommendation of 2 years, then that's what he gets. He signed a waiver of appeal saying he won't appeal any sentence that's in between 24 and 27 months. If the judge decides to give him more, and they may, because it's a high-profile case and he's a high-profile defendant, then he still has his right to appeal or file an appeal of the plea agreement that he's accepted. So it'll be September 8th, I think, sentencing, so we'll know more then.
His dad and his brother joined him in court. His father and his brother.
Thank you for the information. I don't know what I'm thanking you for, Quinn.
This is just, it must have been a horrible,
His dad and
horrible
his brother
scene.
joined him in court, and now
Yeah.
Jared from
Yeah.
Subway will join him in prison.
I don't know where
Chaz
Mom
Farcher
is,
from
but-
Martin Harding and Mazzotti. 1-800-LAW-1010 and 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Get over to the judges' chambers.
Thanks, Chaz.
See you, Chaz.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.
You too, buddy.
Quinn and Cantera, mornings on PYX106.